So I joined those two strips using glue into this big circle, and this is what we're going to use in the inertia experiment. There are two pennies on top of the ring, and I'm going to just flick it. You can see that the pennies are now inside. So I'm going to do the same thing to this. Just flick it. Glue stick just fell straight down. We'll explain why. This picture of our ring on the tube, on the glass tube with pennies on top of it, right? When you see that, as you see that system in place with nothing moving, that's a system. Scientifically, what they say is it's a system in equilibrium. And why is that? Well, there are forces still acting on it. If you really look at it, the pennies, gravity is still acting on the pennies, right? That's why it's got the weight. But it's resting on this ring, and the ring is pushing it upwards by an equal and opposite force called normal reaction. And therefore the pennies are still in place. They're not falling up or they're down or falling up, floating up, right? Therefore there are forces acting on any system all the time, and only thing is they are in equilibrium, and that's Newton's first law, right? An object that's in motion will continue to move in the straight line, and or an object at rest will remain at rest until an external force acts on it to change the direction or to move it, right? So that's Newton's law. And also, now when we flick it out, what happened? For that instant, because of inertia, these pennies remained where they were, because the inertia says a body at rest will try to remain at rest, but finally the gravity takes over and it pulls it down, straight down. And the significance of them falling into this container, why is that? It just tells us that it's not flying. There's no other force because of friction or any other force acting on them. Therefore the only force that's acting on them is gravity, and you're actually seeing gravity in action. That's why this experiment, while it is also called Newton's law of inertia, but it's also an experiment to see gravity in action. Empty glasses, there's nothing in it. I'm going to place this board right on top of it. Before that, I'm going to make sure that I settle this . Now I place those two right on top of the tubes, right on top of the glasses, and I'm going to place these lemons on top of the tube. And what I'm going to do is flick the cardboard, and let's see what happens. I'm going to use this you see that the lemons fell, the lime fell straight into the glass. Now what? I've replaced the lemons with two ping pong balls, which are much lighter, and they were smaller than the diameter of the tube. I just put some tape there so that they would support that. Okay, so now let's see what happens. So if you notice, the ping pong balls traveled with the tubes. Why? Alright, this is the fun part. Now, I put some eggs on the tubes instead of lemons, and I have water in the glass so that the eggs will not crack. But the fun part is what happens if it flies off, and then we have a mess on our hands. Let's try. There you go. You got the same thing. The eggs are in the glasses. That inertia will increase or decrease as mass increases or decreases. In other words, inertia is proportional. This is a scientific symbol which says it's proportional to mass. So, and these laws apply when you saw that the lemon and the eggs fell into the water, but the ping pong ball, which was much lighter, flew away because they don't have much inertia.